Summary of the Spy Who Came In from the Cold by John le Carré. At the start of the book, Alec Liamas, who in charge of the British Secret Service's Berlin station, waits at a crossing on the Berlin Wall for his spy Carl Riemek, whose identity has been revealed, to arrive safely in the West. Elvira, Riemek's lover, goes into West Berlin and tells Liamas that Riemek will be there soon. Liamas thinks Elvira knows too much about the spy operation. Riemek is shot and killed by East German guards while Liamas watches. Last of Liamas's spies in Berlin to be killed by Hans-Dieter Mundt, who was in charge of the Abteilung, was Riemek. Control, who is in charge of the British spy agency known as the Circus, calls Liamas back to London. Control gives Liamas one last job to do before he retires, to kill Mundt. Lee Ames meets Peter Gillam and George Smiley at Control's house. Gillam and Smiley are agents and used to be agents who worked on Mundt's case in 1959, when Mundt was a spy in London. The men come up with a plan together. Liamas changes his name to someone else in order to carry out the plan to kill Mundt. He is sent to work in banks, where he gets drunk and loses his job. After being accused of theft, he stops being at the circus altogether. At the circus, there are rumors that Liamas's income will be small because he didn't work for a long time after World War II. Liamas lives in a dirty apartment, drinks too much, and doesn't hang out with anyone after leaving the circus. He is sent to work at a library by Mr. Pitt, a man he thinks he knows from a job agency. There, he meets Liz Gold, a young Jewish Communist Party member. They sleep together, and Liz falls in love with Liamas. Once, she knows he's getting ready for something and that they need to say goodbye. The next day, Liamas hits Ford, a grocery store owner who wouldn't give him credit. He gets 3 months in jail for this. When Liamas gets out of jail, East German spies Ash and Kiever approach him in London and ask him to join them as a spy. People say he will get £15,000 now and another £5,000 in a year for telling people about his work. When Liamas gets to The Hague, he is questioned by a Russian spy named Peters. Liamas tells Peters how he first got in touch with Carl Riemek and what information Riemek gave him. Peters doesn't believe that Riemek would have had so much information available to him. Riemek tells Liamas that Elvira was killed in West Germany, which makes him think. Liamas tells Peters the next day about a unique way to pay an agent that he worked on while he was in the banking department. Liamas set up joint accounts in Helsinki and Copenhagen for this project, which they called Rolling Stone. He put money into a shared account in each place under a fake name for himself and an agent who could get it under a fake name. Peters gets to Holland late on the third day, so Liamas goes for a walk on the beach. He remembers how good it feels to enjoy life because of Liz. He wants to get back to her. When Peters gets there, he tells Liamas that there is an arrest warrant out for Liamas in the London papers. Liamas says Peters told everyone about his plan to go to London to make Liamas stay, but he thinks Control is really behind this. Peters tells him that he needs to go to the East to be safe and to be questioned more, so he does. They then fly to Berlin. When they get back to London, George Smiley and another spy go to see Liz. They want to know about her bond with Liamas. He gives Liz his business card and tells her to call him if she needs anything. In the meantime, Liamas meets Fiedler at a camp outside of Berlin. Fiedler is the second in command at the Abteilung and the best interviewer it has. Fiedler's file is known to Liamas, who knows that Fiedler will kill anyone to protect his communist beliefs. Control wants to get rid of Mundt and is counting on Fiedler to find proof against him after Liamas frames him and bring a case against his boss. 2 days are spent walking through the hills with Liamas. During this time, Fiedler asks Liamas about his work and his beliefs. Liamas says over and over that he doesn't believe in anything. Liamas says it would have been impossible for the British to send an agent to East Germany without Fiedler knowing about it. Fiedler is sure that Rolling Stone was supposed to pay a British spy there. Fiedler has Liamas write to the 2 banks to ask about the accounts in order to try to figure out which agent was paid through the Rolling Stone plot. His message tells him that the money was taken out of the bank in Copenhagen on days when Munt was there. Liz gets an offer from another wing of the Communist Party to go on a cultural exchange trip to Leipzig. This happens back in England. A person as unimportant as her is getting extra attention from the party, which she finds strange. But she ignores her doubts because she hopes the trip will take her mind off of Liamos. After going for a drive, Fiedler tells Liamos that he thinks Munt is working for the British. The two men then go back to the house. As soon as they get there, they are jailed. Liamos fights back against being arrested and kills a German guard before being knocked out. He wakes up in jail, badly hurt and chained up. Munt questions him and wants to know more about the British plan to blame him. Munt says Liamos could get off the hook for killing the guard if he admits that Fiedler is part of a British plan to frame Munt. Liamos doesn't say sorry. Munt keeps asking him when he last saw George Smiley, and all of a sudden, a bunch of people rush into the room. Munt is caught, and Liamos is taken to the hospital. Fiedler is standing next to Lima's bed when he wakes up. Fiedler tells him that he had already given the Presidium, legislative body, a report on his concerns about Munt when Munt had them arrested. Now, there will be a tribunal to find out if Munt is a British spy. Liamos is going to have to talk. In Leipzig, Liz is loving her stay until she realizes how few people are at the branch meeting, which makes her sad. A guy named Holton comes up to Liz after the meeting and tells her that her plans have changed. He will take her to a special meeting on the border with Poland. Liz follows him. 3 members of the Presidium watch over the tribunal, which meets in a small courtroom. First, Fiedler makes the case against Munt. He says that Munt was caught by the British in London and was forced to become a British spy. He asks Liamos to witness, but first he says that Munt hired Remek to act as a go-between for him and Liamos, so Liamos doesn't know that Munt was a British spy. Fiedler thinks Munt should be put to death. Carden, Munt's lawyer, talks next. He says that the British sent Liamos to bring down Munt with the help of Fiedler. He asks Liamos to speak and finds out if he was alone and broke when he fled. Liamos agrees with this. Liamos says that George Smiley did not want to help him when Carden asks him. Then Carden asks for his witness to be brought in. Liamos is shocked and horrified when Liz walks into the courtroom. There is something scary about the trial that Liz doesn't know. She wants to protect Liamos. She says that George Smiley came to see her after Liamos left, which shows that Liamos wasn't as broke as he says he was. Carden says this shows that London set up Limas's betrayal. Liamos is shocked that London called Liz, which would have put his job at risk. He tells the judge that Carden is right, the whole thing was set up to protect Fiedler and Liz. He doesn't know the truth until he's done his testimony. Munt is really London's man, and London sent him on this task to protect Munt and frame and kill Fiedler, who was suspicious of Munt. In the late evening, Munt goes to Liz's jail cell and leads her out into the night, where Liamos is waiting by a car. They're going to Berlin by car. Liz is shocked when Liamos tells her how London used them to get what it wanted. They pick up a man who tells them how to get over the Berlin Wall without getting shot by the guards. Liz is upset that she was fired because she is a communist and knows private information about the circus. Liamos goes to the top of the Berlin Wall and then swings back down to help Liz cross. Then the searchlights come on, and Liz is shot several times. Liamos hears George Smiley telling him to cross from the western side of the Berlin Wall. He instead climbs back down to the eastern side, where Liz is already dead and is shot by the guards.
About the author. David Cornwell was born on October 19, 1931 in Poole, Dorset, England. His mother left him and his siblings when he was 5 years old, and his father was involved with organized crime and went to jail for insurance fraud. Cornwell joined the M15, which is Britain's internal security service, after going to school in both England and Switzerland. As part of this job, he looked into how the Soviet Union was connected to English far-left groups. After moving to West Germany in 1960, he joined the M16, which was Britain's foreign intelligence service and worked out of the British Embassy in Bonn. Being bored at work and unhappy in his marriage made Cornwell start writing, which he did under the name John le Carré. Call for the Dead and A Murder of Quality, his first two books, were mysteries, but they both had characters like Hans Dietrich Mundt and George Smiley that would show up again in his later spy stories. His first spy book was called The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. It was okay for the M16 to release it after they carefully checked it for secret information and found none. Huge numbers of people read and loved the book, so Cornwell quit the M16 to write books full-time. A lot of his books have been made into movies and TV shows that people really like. Le Carré will write a new book about Peter Gillam in 2017. This book is based on the character from The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. It'll be the 9th book in the George Smiley series.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.